Greetings, everyone, and welcome to another edition of the Red Pill Diaries. I'm your host, your brother, and your friend, Rashid, and this is the most powerful platform for truth, bar none, anywhere on God's green earth. This is your platform for education, elevation, and edification. This is the Red Pill Diaries. Thank each and every one of you for joining me, especially on short notice, but you know we have to get it, and I got to give a shout out, first of all, to my guy, Ascended Awakening Astral. Thank you for joining me. Thank everybody for joining me in the chat. Shout out to everybody. So this is a spur of the moment. I got my t-shirt on. I was got done lifting weights and stuff, and so I was like, oh man, don't tell me that what I saw earlier is what's taking place. I ignored it. Then I scanned all the channels to see if anyone was checking it out and reporting on it, and the only channel at first that I could find doing it was CNN, then Fox News. Excuse me, and they were reporting that the IDF has commenced strikes on Iran. Right now, if this is true, we know. Let me pull up something for you guys. First of all, let me pull it up on this screen, and then we'll pull it up on that screen. Okay. So hold on one second. Let me see if I can pull it up and see if I on here. Very, very important we look at this. And if we can pull it up here, we'll be able to pull it up over there. Oh, yeah. Okay. Hold on one second, everybody. Let me put it up on the main screen. All right. All right. Let's see. Because sometimes with the main screen, it acts a little funny. So that's why I normally pull it up on my side screens. Give me 1 second, everybody. All right, well, let's see if that'll pull up. Oh, that's good. I don't even have to go to the other maps. I'll just pull this up on the screen because I want to show you something. All right. Share screen. Middle East maps. Share screen. Excuse me. So, very important that we look at something. It should be coming up on your screen right now. All right. Let me see if it's on the screen. I'm monitoring. All right, it's up there. Okay. Very important that you look at this map right here. And this is something that I often, I always try to pull up maps when I'm dealing with the North African or Middle Eastern area to show you the collusion that goes on behind closed doors. That is missed when you start explaining something, but you don't have a picture to show. And they often say that a picture is worth 1,000 words, right? So let me see if I can enhance that picture a little bit. Let me see if I can. Hold on 1 second, everybody. Let me see. See if we can go up. All right, I'll screen that. All right, that's awesome there on my screen. All right, that's awesome there. All right, you see. Excuse me. All right. Now check this map out, because I'm gonna be talking to you, but I'll be talking from this map over here. It's the exact same map, but it's better for me to do it from this position. All right. So now, if you look where that red dot is, that's Arabia. If you look where the red dot inside that red dot is, that's Iraq. If you look to the right, or it might be to your left, but it's to my right, it's Iran. Now, if you look to the left, which may be to your right, it's Jordan. Look to the north, it's Syria. Let me see if I can move this mouse and you can see it even better. Here. Now, let me see if I can see it on here. I'm trying to check everything out as I'm talking to you all, see if the cursor will go across the screen. It's better if I can do it with the cursor. Oh, come on. I guess it's not going to let me do it. I got my sage burning, so if you see the smoke, let me show you something. So if you see, I don't smoke, I don't drink, I don't do anything. I don't eat beef, I don't eat pork, I don't eat chicken, none of that. So if you see this is my sage, okay, burn it. So if you see the smoke in the background, that's what that is. Hit the like button also, all right? Hit the like button. So there is something very important to this map. I wonder why they won't allow my cursor on my screen to do this. Ah, there it is. There it is. All right. I see it now. I see it now. They're allowing it now. So now, my cursor will sit on. Did it disappear? Let's see. Hold on one second, everybody. YouTube, you suck. I'm sorry for everybody that's watching on all of the other platforms, but I'm in the YouTube dashboard on this also over here too. So I'm trying to make sure everything is up to par. Anyway, if you look at this map here, and you look where my cursor sits at, that is occupied Palestine, or in the West, they call it Israel, right? Now, I want you to see something. For there to be a legitimate strike on Iran, Israel must fly over Egypt or through Egypt and go around the Gulf of Aden and around the Arabian Peninsula and do it, or it must fly over Syria, through Iraq to hit Iran, or through Turkey into Iran, or it must fly through Jordan, through Iraq, through Iran, or it must fly through Arabia to Iran. So now, what's important about that? That's collusion. That's collusion. For there to be any pertinent strike, well, we can say, well, what about the submarines there? They can fire submarines, yeah, but they can be detected. You don't think Iran's waters and the waters near off, I mean, that are close to the coast of Iran have been put under surveillance? It's just like when that U.S. submarine, quote unquote, ran into an undersea mountain. Well, they know they can lie. They can lie. It was hit by a Chinese vessel. All right. The Chinese have their waters monitored. The Iranians likewise. So if these are missile strikes from air platforms, they had to be conducted over one or more Middle Eastern countries. What would be the most favorable route for this? All right. I'm not saying this is the actual route. I'm saying what would be the most favorable route, excuse me. And we'll say, since occupied Palestine or Israel is adjacent to Syria or adjacent to Jordan, we know that the United States has military bases in occupied Palestine. We know that she has military bases in Jordan. We know that she has illegal military bases in Iraq. So that would be the best route for her to go. Or she could have flown from occupied Palestine through Lebanon, through Syria, and through part of Iraq into Iran, or through Turkey. All right. Now, I don't think the Turkish are that foolish. Shout out to Joel Bradford in the building. I don't think the Turks are that foolish. Not to get, because the Iranians have already told you what the deal is. So if these strikes are real, or if they're just being reported by the West as a face-saving cover, that's something different. But for Israel to be able to strike Iran with air assets, they have to go over one or more Arab or Muslim countries. That would means that one or more Arab nations colluded with it. Even if they were to use their so-called F-35s, that would mean that there was collusion. Now look, if the strikes took place, my best bet is that America, and nobody else say this, because I don't think a lot of them had the cojones to say it, but I will. If strikes took place, I believe America took the lead, because there's no way Israel could do it. Israel will get the credit, but there's no way. And with all of the military assets that the United States have in play in that region, it would be more logical for the U.S. to take the lead in something like this. Now, Iran has surveillance satellites. They have access to others. So if these things took place, then they had to have some type of heads up, or they allowed it as a justification to respond to a harsher response, and also maybe to finally do what everybody think that Iran would never try to do. Confront the big Satan head on and push it out of the Middle Eastern area. Maybe. Why is one perspective, the main perspective that everybody said Iran would never fight America? No, she knew that she would be destroyed. Why would we just take that narrative? How is it that a nation has been bogged down and been beaten and been harassed and been overthrown by its leaders, been overthrown and assassinated by the United States? You don't think they want some get back? Oh, my daughter just came in my office for my car keys. All right. Anyway, that's my baby. Anyway, and all of my babies are in there, including my older son. He came back to home. It's always home here with Pops, even though he has his home in the city, the adjacent city, but he's here with that broke foot. But let's go to this real quick. Let's go to this article real quick. It's very important that we analyze this. All right. And we're going to do it. And I want to say this before we go to it. So check this out. For those of you who were a part of the live stream that we did, not yesterday, but day before yesterday. And we addressed a lot of issues in how we were connecting the recent Israeli bombings to start when they with the Kazan meeting and the U.S. acts of aggression. Then we see the assassination attempts, and we see the uptick in violence, and we see how the terrorist attack in Turkey was all fomented by NATO, and we connected the dots. And I was telling you all that I watched almost every alternative news channel, and almost all the main ones sat there, me, some of my family members, and not one of them touched on the subject about the main thing that was said by Putin about that grain export or grain bourse. Today or yesterday, 24 hours after I did the show, all the major channels started talking about it. It went over their heads. I told you. Remember what I tell you all. This little channel is your favorite channel. Okay? And I talked about how all of this was in line with the de-dollarization of the globe. All of a sudden, that's the narrative everybody is talking about today. But I talked about it 2 days ago, right? In the midst of it happening. Excuse me. Excuse me. You guys gotta excuse me. I got this cough that will not leave me at this moment. But here's an article on RT, and it says IDF confirms strikes on Iran. All right, and this is being reported by RT. And where's my water? It says Israel has fully mobilized its offensive and defensive capabilities. The Israeli Defense Forces is conducting precise strikes on military targets in Iran. IDF spokesman Daniel Hagari confirmed in a statement early Saturday, which is Friday our time. In response to months of continuous attacks from the regime in Iran, listen to this. If this is not Orwellian, you tell me what is. My God, listen to this part. In response to continuous attacks from the regime in Iran against the state of Israel, right now the Israeli Defense Forces is conducting precise strikes on military targets in Iran. Was it Iran that assassinated Hezbollah and Iranian officials in Lebanon? No. Was it Iran that assassinated military officials and ambassadors and diplomatic officials in Syria? No. Was it Iran that went to Benjamin Netanyahu's inauguration as prime minister and assassinated Benjamin Netanyahu's guest? No. All of these things were done by the Israeli regime with the help of France, the United States, the UK, and Germany, and all of the North Atlantic terrorist organization. All right? But in Bizarro World, in the so-called rules-based order, up is down, down is up, in is out, and out is in. All right? So he's had the nerve. They cannot respect you. There's no flipping way that these people can respect you. To know that you witnessed all of these events, and then to put phrases like this, to speak this on camera, and then to transcribe it to article form in front of you. There's no way that possible that they can respect your intelligence. Let's read that part again. in response. So that, let me get this some real quick. Right here. All right. According to Google, the word response is a noun. It means a verbal or written answer. An answer, a reply, an acknowledgement, a rejoinder, a retort, or return, or reposit. Right? Now, it also says a reaction, a reply, reciprocation, retaliation. Now, if one were to then look at all of the offensive measures taken by the occupying regime of Israel against Lebanon, Iraq, Syria, Yemen, Palestine, and Iran, one could then say, hey, these people were not attacking you, they were responding to your belligerence. So you don't really have the backing to use the word response, because what you did was attack. They responded to your attack. Well, October the 7th. Well, what about October the 6th, 5th, 4th, 3rd, 2nd, and 1st? Huh? October the 7th was a response to all of those violations before that. And then we can go all the way back down to the 40s. October 7th was just a response. And under international law, an occupying people, a people that is being occupied, has an inherent right to self-defense, and they can use whatever means deemed necessary, be they military or what have you, according to the United Nations, the so-called international body that makes the rules that govern the world. So we can throw out October 7th because everybody forget about October. All right? What led to October 7th? Now, if we look at what Israel is doing, if this is the case, we can't forget about the act of war that was committed with the bombing of the consulate in Syria, killing, I think, a whole slew of commanders and some people from the diplomatic mission. We can't forget about the bombing prior to the day before. What's his name was Nasrallah was killed. The United States bombed an area knowing that it was Iranian officermen there, and killed a high-ranking colonel and his staff. We can't ignore the fact that Israel bombed 6 city blocks, let loose 83 bunker-busting bombs, and killed a slew of people, 500 or more civilians, to get a couple people. We can't forget about the daily bombing of Syria, of Lebanon, of Palestine, and the killing. Now, this is not my saying. I heard, if I'm not mistaken, I believe it was Harry Wilkerson said this. If I'm not mistaken, I could be mistaken. But according to his figures, the death and wounded in Palestine exceed 200,000. Not what they're telling you, 40 and 50,000. Exceeds 200,000. The dead, and the wounded. So now, we cannot forget that the leader of Hamas was personally invited to the presidential inauguration in Iran. And Israel violated, once again, the territorial integrity and all international norms by assassinating him, blowing him up in a building that was close to the presidential palace or the presidential home. How can this be forgotten? How is Iran the aggressor? Only in Bizarro world. Only in this Orwellian world. You know, I took a picture. Excuse me. I took a picture and I saved it. Where is it? Let me see something. All right. I took a picture of a quote from George Orwell. I did it not knowing even I was going to do this show. Somebody posted a picture and it came into my feed. And I looked at the picture and I cut it. I took it and I downloaded it. And this is the picture but I don't think you all will be able to see it. But if you're not, I'm gonna read it to you. All right. There we go. George Orwell. So this is what it said. Political language is designed to make lies sound truthful and murder respectable. Excuse me. That's George Orwell. Is that not what is being employed right here? Is this not straight out of Orwell's mind? Political language is designed to make lies sound truthful and murder respectable. Israel must respond. Israel was the initiator. The hell you mean they must respond? So listen to this again. Oh, I'm telling you, Bizarro World 101. In response to months of continuous attacks from the regime. See, when the West wants to delegitimize you, wants to stigmatize you, wants to put a negative connotation in the minds of the people who they're sending the message to, they start calling legitimate governments regimes, legitimate leaders as tyrants and dictators. And this is the greatest tyranny on the face of the planet Earth. This in the UK. But everybody else, everybody is a tyrant. Everybody is a dictator, a murderer. Who has murdered more people on planet Earth than Great Britain and the United States? Huh? How the hell can you fix your voice to even mention murder when your wealth was made through blood? When your prosperity has been endured, has continued to endure through the bloodshed of others. So we disqualified you for even saying something like this. But this guy had the nerve to say, in response to months of continuous attacks from the regime in Iran against the state of Israel, right now the Israel Defense Forces is conducting precision strikes on military targets in Iran. Isn't that something? Up is down, down is up, in is out, out is in, right? That's what they're doing to you. They don't believe that you have the common sense to understand the reality of the time. Why now? Why now? You know why now? Because the dollar is under tremendous strain. And everybody started talking about Kazan. And everybody's talked about the payment system that they're trying to employ. And everybody's talking about the grain bourse now. And everybody's talking about all of the new partners to the BRICS, which is sidelining the so-called Global 7 or the G7, which is minimizing the political and economic clout of the American and British Empire. So what best time to do it now is to let loose their guard dog, their lapdog, to try to rein in Iran. Why? Because Iran was given full status at the BRICS meeting. And if they go after the weakest one of the BRICS, the major BRICS power, and when I say the weakest one, I'm saying you have Russia, you have China, you have India, you have Brazil, you have South Africa, and you have the newly brought in Iran. All right. Why would they allow Iran to fully cement itself economically in that region? Be careful with that cord to knock the that screen off right here. I'm sorry, everybody. I have a little help in the background. My son and my daughter were doing something for me right around here with the computer screens. So this is the best time to wage war, because think about this. They understand they're losing. They're understanding that everything that they're doing, everything that they're trying to do is failing. So if we go after Iran, there's a high probability that we won't win. But there's also a probability that we can create so much chaos that it can hinder China's building roads through West Asia, North Africa. And that'll buy us a little time. There's a great possibility that if we can create chaos in Iran and destabilize that region, we can take it out of the orbit of Russia and China, and we can buy us a little more time. If we wage war and win, we control the pipelines through the Middle East and North Africa. We can control the strategic waterways, and then we can cement the dollar's position in that region for a little bit longer, and the empire can get off life support for a little bit and let that dollar blood course through his veins and continue to pump empire. That's what's going on. That's what's going on. What the Wesley Snipes says, when all you have is a hammer, you got to make everything appear as if it's a nail, right? That's what's going on. All they have is the military card now. The sanctions don't work anymore. They have no political clout or capital anymore. So what do they resort to? That which they've resorted to since America's inception. What is that? Threats? Assassination? Color revolutions? Or all-out war? And that is what they're doing right now. If they can beat Iran, remember that's West Asia, right? Persia. I told you guys that they were going to attack Persia. I've been telling you guys this for the longest. And in this war, when it finally escalates, listen to what I say. I'm going to say it again to you guys. You okay, baby? All right. I'm going to say that again to you guys. And you guys got to forget the noise back here. My daughter and my son, like I said, they're back here. And they're walking on doing all this. That's my baby. Come here, baby. Come here, baby. Anyway, my daughter and my son are helping me out. But anyway, okay, baby. she's on her way back to work. Anyway, this thing, when it happens, yes, Iran is going to be hit hard when it finally does escalate. But this war in the Middle East and North African region will bring to a naught the power of America and and Great Britain or the UK, or whichever one you want to call it, in that region of the world. They're going to limp out. Think about what I'm saying to you all. Iran controls the Strait of Hormuz. A quarter to a third of all oil and gas comes through there, right? If that's shut down, what does that do to the economy of the globe? And what does that do to the American economy, even though America is self-sufficient in oil and gas right now? What does that do? That throws everything into a tailspin because America needs the oil sale in dollars to keep the heart beating of the empire. Without that extra revenue, right? She can't pretend to have a productive economy anymore because she's a service economy. And then guess what happens? Services shut down. No gas, no oil to the trucking companies, to the trains, to the cargo planes, to the airplanes, to the shipping. No gas. And you have bankruptcy after bankruptcy after bankruptcy after bankruptcy. You understand? Excuse me. So let's go a little further. Again, everybody, I'm reading this for the first time with you all. And thank you all and Jenny Bean is in the building. Thank you for joining. It says, let me highlight this real quick. Urgent from the Iranian Red Cross. Ambulance rush to the vicinity of Imam Khomeini Airport in Tehran following reports of a large number of Quds Force members collapsing after laughing so hard. Stop it, Jenny. Oh my God, Jenny. Stop it. You give me a good laugh on that one. So listen, it goes further and says this right here. We will do whatever necessary to defend the state of Israel and the people of Israel, he said, adding that the Jewish state's defensive and offensive capabilities are fully mobilized. And it says, let's see. It says the scale of the attack was not immediately clear, and there was no information on damage in the Islamic Republic. It says a Tehran resident told AP that at least 7 explosions could be heard in the capital. Now, if there were explosions, probably from the air defense systems, but also listen, if this took place, I'm telling you, America was not just helping with intelligence. America was leading. Israel does not have the capability to do this by herself. But they're going to give it to try to restore some of that deterrent capability. They're going to give Israel all the credit she needs. But the real people, the strategic thinkers, the military men and women, understand that this is beyond the scope of Israel. Right? And we're going to, if this so happen, we're going to see what Iran's response will be soon. Okay. So now let me go to something else, because this is here and it says live updates. I'm trying to put it up for you. Let's see. It says Israel apparently targeted several military bases in west and southwest of Tehran, but there was no official confirmation of any casualties or damage, according to the Fars news agency. It says Israel's attack on Iran. These are highlights from different organizations. Okay, Israel's attack on Iran is expected to be a one-night affair. ABC news report citing a source with direct knowledge. According to the same source, there were no reports of any Israeli casualties or damage to Israeli warplanes. Now, this right here, this statement, before I go further, would allude to the fact that Israel is now trying to pull back and say, hey, this is only one-time thing. We're just getting our get back. Hell no, you're not getting your get back. What you mean you got get back? You're the one got it. So I got to get back. You know, that's something that they're trying to throw in there. Listen, Israel attack on Iran is expected to be a one-night affair. As if this is a movie or if this is a playwright or something. You don't get to kill me and bomb me at will. That's not how life is. If you allow people to do that, life is not worth living. Who's to say that you are the only one that should live with security and peace and stability? Huh? America does not allow anybody to attack her. And even if she doesn't know who the attacker is, she'll make up one to justify her moves in other regions of the world. We know that. We know it. I'm going to go to the chat in a minute, okay? I'm going to pull up some of your stuff in a minute. But this was written, this was an ABC article, and it says there were no reports of any Israeli casualties or damage to Israeli warplanes. Now, they are alluding to the fact that there may have been these bombings took place with Israeli warplanes. Now, again, if this is the case, I don't care if you have Wonder Woman's plane. Some radar is going to pick that up. And Russia is a strategic partner of Iran, and you telling me Russia didn't pick it up? So, if there were planes, then you have to say, and they may have had Israeli logos on them. America's good for that. Remember, America was in the desert, built the Mark Su-30 fighter, painted it the same colors as the Su-57, and they were out there dogfighting to prepare for a dogfight with the Russian Su-57 fighters, right? So it's not hard for America to paint her F-35s or her F-22s with Israeli flags on. I don't know, like they say on what you talking about, Willis? Like they say on Different Strokes. Who do they think they're pulling this over on? And how can Israel bomb Iran? This is the big question. Let's just throw America out of the picture for a minute. Look at the map on your screen. All right? Show me where it is possible, especially with the flight limitations of those warplanes. Show me where it is possible for Israel to be able to bomb Iran with warplanes from where she resides and where Iran lies in. Show me without going over another territory. I'm just asking. I'm asking. That means that either America opened up the airspace of the nations that she has control over and allowed this and took part in it, if it took place, right? Or other nations in the region colluded with it. The same as with the Yemeni people. Look at that map right there, all right? Look at the map on the screen real quick. And I'm telling you, ooh, these people crazy. And right at the bottom of Arabia, you see the nation of Yemen, right? Now, if you go back to where I just told, let me see if I can pull this up on my screen and put my cursor over Palestine. I hope you guys can see my cursor on Palestine. All right. Let's see something real quick. I hope you can see it. I'm gonna look down and see if I can see it real quick. Everybody, hold on 1 second. See if I can make this bigger. See if I can, because I can't see the cursor on it where I'm at. But anyway, all right, Palestine. And then if you look further down from Arabia, you look at Yemen. Okay, my cursor is finally on it. All right. That's occupied Palestine. Now, if you look further down, I'm going to take you to where Yemen is at. Boom. All right. All right. Now, if you look at the bottom of Arabia, you see Yemen. Tell me, how can Israel fly fighter jets to bomb Yemen if Egypt is right there, if Jordan is right there? Israel, occupied Palestine, does not have any territory in the Gulf of Aden, right? It doesn't have none in the Strait of Hormuz, the Arabian Sea, or the Gulf of the Persian Gulf. It doesn't have a waterway in the Caspian Sea or the Black Sea. It has one in the Mediterranean. So how in the heck can they fly fighter jets to bomb Yemen if there is no collusion? I'm asking. So no one asks these questions, and I think the people are starting to get fed up with what they're getting from alternative media, and I think they're starting to get fed up with what they're getting with the mainstream media, because nobody is asking the hard questions, and nobody's willing to call people out on it. All right. Somebody says, "What's going on?" Just stay put, and you'll find out. Okay. And he said, "Who is he quoting?" I guess you were talking about me when I showed up an Orwellian quote. All right. All right. You say a terrorist attack in KSA. Let's go down here. Go out to Mehdi. Salute to the Red Pill Diaries in the chat. This might have been a test of Iranian responses, but if it was an attack, either Western missiles are failing or Iran air defense tech more than they thought. Boom. This is what I'm saying. That's a good thought. Good position. I was thinking about that early when I got these reports. I said, now, we don't hear a lot of what's going on. I believe that what they did, they could have done, is tested the air defense system, and the stuff was knocked down. The missiles were knocked down. And they may have turned around and said, and put it in the Western press, well, we bombed these bases and such, and this is a one-off thing, as not to get the ire of Iranian retaliation. But we'll see if Iran is going to retaliate, though. We'll see. Is he quoting the propaganda mainstream media? I'm not sure what you're talking about, boycott. Let's see. We do not know how many missiles were sent, how many were taken out by Iran's SAM system, and how many leakers made it through. Absolutely. And then he Mehdi says pretty much what I said before. This also could be a weak attack just to satisfy the West's honor without actually doing it full throttle, because they do not want it to escalate further. And I thought about that, Mehdi, and then I thought about a few days ago, I was reading something that bothered me. I was listening to I saved it's in my email, and I didn't know I was going to be doing this show right now, but it's in my email. I sent the article to my email so that I would not forget it. And I was reading an article by a high-ranking RGC official. And it seems like before this attack happened, he was weaseling out or backing back on some of the stuff that was being stated by Iranian officials. But then the next day, let's see if I can pull it up real quick. Then the next day, it seemed as though the top commander came out and said, no. If we're hit in any way, shape, form, or fashion, we're hitting back. So we're going to see if that is the truth. Excuse me. let's see. Where is the Iranian? I got so many of them. I see myself. Oh my God, Mike Mihailovich. I gotta get back with you, Mike. Mike, I'm sorry I missed you, man. I'm sorry. We'll get together. But I don't even feel like looking for the article. I might pull it up on the next one. It said, Israel attacked Iran. Boycott said, well, that was dumb. Has it been confirmed? I don't know. All I know is I'm looking at, I saw it on Fox and I saw it on CNN. Now, I don't watch them, but the alerts came up. And so I went to some alternative media and I saw Sputnik was saying it and the RT was saying it. But I did not see it on RT until right before the show. I'm talking about RT on Rumble. Okay, I saw a little bit, then it went off the screen. So I said, let me, if they showed pictures of air defense engagement, I don't know if it was the air defense engagement of Israel or if it was new air defense engagements of Iran, right? So I decided I would come on and I would just tell you guys, if this is happening like this, this won't stop. This will not stop because everybody has to save face. And nobody points to the fact that you're grown men and women. You're acting like kids. And Iran should have nipped this in the bud a long time ago. The killing of IRGC soldiers and stuff, the bombing of facilities in Syria. Israel said, we will not have Iranian bases in Syria. Who the hell are you to say that they can't be in Syria? The legitimate government invited them in so they can be in. Isn't this what America says? That she used the opposite reasoning for being in Ukraine. The Ukrainians said we can be here. Russia said we can't have y'all setting up a base. But when Russia fights to defend her, Russia is wrong. But when Israel does it, Israel is right. Rules for thee and not for me. This is what is destroying the rules-based international order because of all of the hypocrisy, the exceptionalism, the hubris, and the arrogance. That's what's going on. So Dwight Anderson says, LOL, I saw one burning bush in Iran. Iran will deliver on his promise. Let's hope so. Because all you got in this world, this is what I learned early in life. All that you have in this world is your word. And your word is supposed to be bond, regardless to whom or what. Right? And if you can't live, see, because if you live by your word and you tell a person, I'm going to do this, and this, and every time they turn around, you do this, and this. And one day you say, I'm going to do this, and this. And then that day come and you don't do that. They'll say, something had to have a track record of that person doing this, and this. So your word will speak more loudly to redeem you and justify you, just like it'll condemn you. So Iran has said it. Do you understand me? Whether Iran lives up to his word, I don't think most of you understand where we are in time. We're in a time now where there's a cleansing. There's a cleansing going on, right? And all of those who like war and the perpetration of war got to be removed. And so even if you wanted peace, this is not the time for peace. Why? Because we're at the most deadliest stage of human history. Hundreds of years ago, they would throw rocks at each other, slingshots at each other. Then the worst weapon was a sword. Then it was a cannonball with oil on it, right? Then it was a couple bullets, right? Then there were missiles. We're past those stages. We're at the stage of thermonuclear war, right? So in order to prevent the total destruction of the population of the planet Earth, those who advocate for that type of world that is dominated by a few people with the deadliest of weapons, they must be removed. And even if you wanted peace, it can't be happening because this natural environment has been tainted by an unnatural thought and unnatural policies. And we know what science tells us. Whenever an unnatural entity invades a natural entity, the natural entity must rid itself of that unnatural entity or both die. So war is coming. So whether Iran want to take it now or later, it's coming because the empire will not stop. Do you think America's going to stop? This right here. Let me backtrack for a minute, and let me say something to you that are listening. Do you believe that America will take second fiddle to anybody? I mean, would somebody put a yes or a no in the comment section? Just one. I only need one yes or one no in the comment section. All right. I asked the question, and I'm gonna see if I can get me one comment. I get a lot of stuff in the comment section, but yes or no. Do you believe that America is willing to play second fiddle to any nation? Yes or no? Put it in there real quick. All right. All right. I know it's conversation going on up in there. Hold on, my screen is freezing a little bit over here. We won't go further until y'all hit that like button. Hit the like button or hit the dislike button. It doesn't matter. It doesn't cost you a thing. Boycott says yes, it does to Israel. You're wrong. It does not play second fiddle to Israel. Again, Israel, the United States, and the UK are all one and the same. And I don't care what. Listen to this. All of the major people in Israel are major people in America and power circles. All the people who are major in major power circles are major power circles in the UK. Right? Who mandated Britain to break up Palestine? Nobody. Who gave it the mandate? Because we always talk about the Palestine was under a British mandate. Mandate means that you have been given authority to do something. Who gave them that authority? The barrel of the gun. All right? So long before there was Israel, there was those people still in the power circles. And then who gave them the military wherewithal to maintain and push this idea of Israel? Because we see that the foundation was laid by Britain. Well, who gave them the political and the economic position to do it? All right? It was the United States. These are all one and the same thing, bro. You can call it the UK, you can call it the US, you can call it Israel. They're all the same thing. All three of them are the same. And that's why their policies are almost identical when it comes to dealing with people. All right? So, but you said, and I know you meant that the US would not take a backseat to anybody. I got to put this up here. True Zio douche are in all three governments. I'm sorry, everybody. But listen. So, if America refuses to play second fiddle to China, if she refuses to be an equal to Russia, do you think she's going to accept Iran bucking up against her authority, setting examples for other nations that want to get from under the thumb of the United States? Do you think she is? Look at what she's done to Iraq, Syria, Lebanon, Libya, all of these areas. Do you believe that they're going to allow Iran to somehow just escape this without a war? Because look, if she allows Iran to go unscathed, guess what happens? It gives cojones to all of these other nations that are sick of America's dictates and policies. So war is coming one way or the other. She'll never take a backseat to China. That's why she's positioning weapons in Asia. She'll never take a backseat to Russia. That's why she stoked the Ukrainian war. She'll never take a backseat or even allow Iran to challenge her authority without military power. That's why she is clearly tripling and quadrupling down by deploying weapons, warships, warplanes, radars, missiles, and all kinds of destructive weapons in that region. Do you believe that? You believe she will allow that? Iran should know better now. America does not allow you to buck up against her, especially when she's hemorrhaging right now. Her economy is taken. Within our own border, there's a great divide in almost everything that you might as well call us ice cream. you know, the ice cream called the Great Divide, you might as well call it ice cream. She is losing. And the only instrument of power that she understands and that she knows that will bring people to a yield is military. And right now, more so than Russia, more so than China, Iran stands in the way. Why? Because Iran is giving those nations in that area hope to stand up against the empire. Iran is an independent nation and has endured decades of U.S. sanctions, and yet it is an industrial power. It is a military power, and it is not reliant on Western technology for nuclear power. It's not relying on Western exports of weapons so as to defend itself. It is showing, if you lace up your bootstrap, grab your brother and your friend, stand up and go to work. Over time, you can achieve this. This is a no-no to Britain. This is a no-no to the United States. This is a no-no to Israel, because that shows that what they have been proselytizing is just fake. You can do the same thing. And that is a threat to American hegemony. Because remember, all the dollar hinges on is just a belief that they need it. When people start realizing that they no longer need it, boom goes the dynamite. So when people start realizing what Iran and other nations that are like that are doing, boom goes the dynamite. You have a domino of nations pulling out of the dollar, a domino of nations challenging the American supremacy. This is a no-no, but it's stretching out the American empire. And it's stretching her out at a time when she does not have the industrial capacity nor the economic prowess to maintain what she's trying to put over on the world. Right? I hope everybody's understanding. Let's see. Let me go to something real quick. So, and this is why she's lasting out. So, there was an article that came out on Sputnik, and it says global finance game changer. And I talked about this on my show 2 days ago, but now Sputnik comes out with an article. Go listen to the live that we did 2 days ago. And I told you, and now other channels are actually using the very words that I use, a change in the global economic architecture, the global political architecture, the same verbatim they're using it. All right? But listen. It says, global finance game changer. Find out what BRICS Bridge, Clear, and Pay systems have to offer. And they're talking about, in Kazan, they've come to a position that they're going to not only challenge the dollar by just trade, they're going to have their own Euroclear. They're going to have their own trading mechanisms, their own pay systems. And what better way to try to postpone or derail that by going against the weakest of the power block? You got Russia, you got China, you got India, you got South Africa, and you got Iran. Some of you say, well, South Africa's do. No. South Africa, if it wanted to right now, could constitute about 100 and some nuclear bombs right now. South Africa has been a nuclear power since the 70s. Most people don't even know that. 80s. Most people don't even know that. They willingly denuclearized, but they have all of the necessary components to quickly renuclearize themselves. Most people don't know that. South Africa also is an exporter of weapons, so they have good weapons. Most people don't know that because it's an African nation and they don't talk about that. All right? It has a manufacturing capacity, right? So when you look at this, you have Russia has commodities, military, nuclear, all of that. You have China, manufacturing, and all the stuff that I just mentioned with Russia. You have India, all of them have a common denominator. They have nuclear. You have South Africa. Well, Brazil is the only non-nuclear of the BRICS. I'm talking the major BRICS. But it can constitute a nuclear weapon if it so chose to. Okay? And right now, they're not in play because Delula is still trying to fend off loyalists to the American empire who reside in his own government. So right now, we're not even including Delula, all right? But Iran is the prize because it stands as the gateway from North Africa in the middle, what they call the Middle East, to West Asia and Eurasia. And if they can bring Iran to heel, look at the waterways, look at the trade route. Do you not know that Iran and Russia have been in discussion for a Caspian to Persian Gulf waterway, like excavating some of Iran, opening it up, similar to how Turkey is with the Dardanelles and all of that stuff, how you have to go through Turkey to get into the Black Sea. Iran and Russia have been discussing creating something like that through Iran. Do you know that's a game changer strategically? Huh? Do you know that? So when you look at this, if you can tame Iran, you can cower and make everybody bend the knee in North Africa and the rest of West Asia. You can make everybody bow, like people that were on the edge, like India, because India likes to sit on both sides of the gate. All right. But with Iran brought to yield, you're in India's underbelly, Pakistan's underbelly, China's underbelly, and Russia's underbelly. All right. And then you can smooth right back into Afghanistan and get it popping again. That's what they're after. So we're looking at the empire. That's the U.S., the U.K., and the North Atlantic Terrorist Organization, and Israel, all doing it. And somebody posted something. Did I save it? Excuse me. Somebody posted something I had. Yeah, where is it? Saying that is this it? I think this is it. Oh, they're showing explosions over. These look like artillery guns going off over Iran. Look like they're hitting something. Somebody was posting this over Tehran, or let's see. Israel is currently attacking Tehran. Interceptions above Tehran. Air defense active. Yep. I'm getting this in. It says drones launched by the Islamic resistance in Iraq successfully hit a target in Acre. It says medium-level air defenses were activated in Tehran province, and all hostile targets were shot down. It says Iran has announced Iran is ready to respond to Israel's aggression. There is no doubt that Israel will face a proportional reaction to any action it takes. And here it is. It says, according to preliminary information. Now, this is live, so I'm giving you what is coming in live. So I can't verify it or nothing. But it says, according to preliminary information, Israeli-backed collaborators, not Israel, launched quadcopters from the suburbs of Tehran. This was done with the aim of provoking Iranian air defenses and revealing their locations. However, with the full alertness and awareness, only where's the rest of it? Only short-range air defense autocannons were activated. Excuse me. It says medium to long-range air defenses were not activated and did not reveal any of their locations, and all of the quadcopters were shot down. So I'm giving you this and here it is. There's the other article. It says this, and this says that before I came on the air, so I want to share this with you. It says, NATO announces that in the event of a war between Iran and Israel, it will stand by Israel, and any country that intervenes on Iran's side will become an enemy of the West. So that means they won't. Isn't it ironic that these same murderers and killers and occupiers, they are all right to give their friends and their allies all of the most destructive weapons that man has ever seen before. But they dare you to help your brother, your cousin, or your friend with a slingshot. You can't have a strategic interest. You can't have strategic allies. You can't provide them with troops. You can't provide them with arms. You can't help finance them. You can't help give them microchips. You can't give them warplanes, missiles, or whatever, because that's an escalation. But America, France, Great Britain, and all of them can give the kitchen sink to whoever they deem is necessary, and that's justified. We're helping them fight for their freedom. The nerves of these mass murderers, right? And you think that peace can be had under these types of conditions and these hypocritical ways of using politics? Huh? I'm asking you all. This is a no-brainer, right? Now, I often say this to a lot of people. I bring a lot of things up, and I say now, for the Muslims, I'll ask you a different. But for our Christian followers, Christian brothers, all right. If Jesus is to come to save the world from sin, and he is to remove the world, remove the war maker to bring about peace, who is the war maker? And I'm not talking about how you feel. I'm talking about according to history, according to their lives and their history. Who is that? So if we come to a conclusion of who that is, then that's who has to be removed, right? We can't get in our feelings. We got to do it as it is and not as we want it to be. Do you understand? These people are killing at will. They don't care anything about the value of life. How in the hell can you value life when you're in every country bothering everybody, trying to dictate to them everything at every moment and at every turn? As if these are one-size-fits-all politics. People's lives matter. And they put so much emphasis on saving face. They put so much emphasis on materialistic stuff and infrastructure, and which is good to save infrastructure and precious things. But there is nothing in creation more precious than life. You can create life, but if life is snubbed out, you can never recreate and gain that life back. So how about we show the gratitude to the man above us by trying our best to preserve life and cherish life? Huh? This is crazy. Flying Crab says, salute to Rashid in the chat. Missed the start of the stream and World War III bugger. At least it ain't over yet. LOL. We'll be doing a live stream either tomorrow or Monday. I'm sorry, God's will. I don't know if it's channel members or if it's patrons. We'll be doing that sometime. It'll come up, everybody. So we'll be doing both. Each one will have a time for us to do that. Everybody hit the like button, please. 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 I've been here for an hour and 4 minutes. All right. We're talking about the breaking news. We're getting the live feeds in and everything else. So please, I'm asking you to hit the like button. It's not going to hurt you at all. And if you don't like it, hit the dislike button. Just do something. Do something. You know, I'm trying to see if it's some more live feeds coming in. Hold on 1 second. Hold on. Let's see. Here we go. Let me go here. Trending now. It says, hold on. Let me go back. What did that say? Hold on. I think I just missed something. I just missed something, guys. I got to go back to this because I thought I saw something that maybe I didn't see. Let's just hope what I thought I saw. I don't know how to get back to that feed right there. Oh, man. Anyway, someone was saying that there was explosions heard by Imam Khomeini's residence or whatever. I'm not sure. Trying to get to it. It says George Joyce says that around 2:30 a.m. local time, Israel hit at least 3 cities. Tens of warplanes were involved. Let's see. All right, let's see. Hold on, let me go to Press TV real quick and see what they're talking about. While I'm talking, I'm trying to give y'all the real spiel why it's going on. All right, this is what they're saying, which matches what was coming in. This is what is being said by Tehran. Loud sounds heard by some people in the vicinity of Tehran were due to the activation of air defense systems, according to the Iranian security sources. Iran's official IRNA news agency cited a security source as saying on Saturday morning some of the sounds heard in the capital were caused by defense activity in Tehran, and the air defense was successful during this incident. The news agency said there were no reports of incidents that required assistance, and that the situation in Mehrabad International Airport and the Imam Khomeini International Airport was normal. It says Tasnim news agency reported on Saturday morning that the situation was normal at Imam Khomeini International Airport and Mehrabad Airport. No missile strike or impact occurred on Islamic Revolutionary Guards Corps military centers in the west and southwest of Tehran, the agency reported. According to the information obtained by the news agency, there has been no impact on IRGC military centers in the west or southwest of Tehran. The sounds heard are related to the Army's air defenses engaging Israeli military action in 3 areas around Tehran. Informed sources told Tasnim News that Iran is ready to respond to Israeli aggression, as previously stated. So Iran is keeping to his word. Listen to what it says. Informed sources told Tasnim News that Iran is ready to respond to Israeli aggression, as previously stated. They added, Iran reserves its right to respond to any form of aggression, and there is no doubt that Israel will receive a proportional reaction to any action taken. That's on Press TV. All right. Now let me go down, and there's something else. Something else was coming across the screen. I got a lot of alerts and stuff, so I'm trying to keep you guys informed. Okay, that's not really important right there. Let's go here real quick in a second. All right. Excuse me. Hold on one second, everybody. You know we're doing this live, so give me a second. Also, at the same time this is going on, the Israelis, the Syrian military says that they shot down several Israeli missiles. So this is another thing that we didn't even know anything about. So now let me see. Hold on one second. Give me 1 second. Go right here. Let's see what it says. Now this is from Harold Turner, and I don't know, because a lot of information that he gives is good, but then sometimes a few things are off, and I haven't talked to any of my sources tonight as this stuff break. But I'm going to contact him, and he says this at 6:57 p.m. Reports began coming in of several explosions in the Iranian capital city of Tehran. Initial unconfirmed information says that at least one building belonging to the Iran Ministry of Defense has exploded. But we just got Iran side says that did not happen. So this says, see, I told you collusion. According to him, he says, look, and I gave y'all the routes too. See, come on. According to him, he says, Israeli warplanes are now crossing the Syria-Jordan border, heading into the direction of Iraq. Didn't I just give you guys those things? Huh? I told you. There has to be something. And guess who's over the skies? Listen to this. Guess who owns the skies of Jordan? The United States. Guess who owns the skies over Iraq? The United States. And guess who owns the skies, a third of the skies over Syria? The United States. Huh? So what did I tell you? If this were to take place, America would not be playing from behind. She would be leading. Vindication is sweet, baby. Now, it says, residents in northwestern Iran report hearing aircraft in the sky over the Iran-Iraq border. It says Imam Khomeini International Airport hit by explosions. What Iran just clarified what that was, and there's some pictures up showing something. So it says, let me see. They are showing an explosion somewhere, but I don't know where that's from, because that doesn't look like that area. Let's see. It says air control towers throughout the Middle East are broadcasting emergency messages to clear airspace immediately. All right. Let's see. Okay. So now we see that Iran says that they will respond. So where does this take us? Tit for tat, escalation. And remember that the United States said that they would defend Israel against what? Against Iran, right? Right? That's what they said, right? Hold on one second.
Much of Gaza is now a wasteland. Nearly 42,000 Palestinians have been killed since the start of Israel's war on the enclave after the October 7th Hamas attack, with most casualties women and children. A mere statistics to many politicians of the Western world, but an existential tragedy for an entire people, with allegations of genocide increasingly growing louder. And the words of concern for Palestinian civilians from some of the top brass of the collective West seem to run contrary to their actions.
The president will hear from Israel how it will conduct its operations in a way that minimizes civilian casualties and enables humanitarian assistance to flow to civilians in Gaza in a way that does not benefit Hamas.
The number of civilian casualties, innocent civilian casualties, continue increasing.
What has happened in Gaza over the past 9 months is devastating. The images of dead children and desperate, hungry people fleeing for safety, sometimes displaced for the second, third, or fourth time.
Just days after Israel began pounding Gaza last year, Washington was reportedly already fully aware of the looming humanitarian catastrophe that would potentially lead to accusations of war crimes against Israel. The Pentagon warned of the potential consequences of the crisis, while Washington continued its public display of solidarity with Israel, with seemingly no red lines when it came to its unwavering support.
Valid concerns were overridden by the White House. The emails, which haven't been reported before, reveal alarm early on in the State Department and Pentagon that a rising death toll in Gaza could violate international law and jeopardize U.S. ties in the Arab world.
As the IDF continued to raise district after district in Gaza, with the civilian death toll rising, Washington continued to stand firm with the notion that Israel, quote, has the right to defend itself. That's despite an international public outcry, with protests around the world and even a genocide case brought against the state in the International Criminal Court. And amid the unprecedented move, Washington was quick to respond. It would have none of it and would do everything in its power to undermine justice being served.
If the ICC is allowed to threaten Israel's leaders, we know that America will be next. We have some very aggressive legislation that we're going to push as quickly as possible. It will impose sanctions.
Washington's duplicitous approach to the Gaza conflict is manifested in its statements of concern for civilians in the enclave and its almost 80-year-old military commitment to Israel, which continues to flourish more than ever. Since its establishment, Israel has received over $300 billion in aid from the U.S., most of which was earmarked for the military. The numbers are set to grow, with the United States announcing a new $8.7 billion aid package to support Israel's ongoing military efforts.
No administration has helped Israel more than I have. None. 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 And I think Bibi should remember that. And
But this, you see that? No administration has helped Israel more than Biden administration. So you think they're not helping in this? That's what I wanted to get to. And it's a couple of things that I want to read to you, but it's something that I want to play for you again. We got to go back to something because remember, they're talking about bombings in Tehran. So I want everybody to remember this right here. This what was said by Iran.
As the IDF intensifies its assault on Lebanon, Israel's cabinet has been planning to convene to consider authorizing a retaliatory attack against Iran. Meanwhile, as the tensions boil over, sources in Iran say their nation is fully prepared for any further escalation.
Iran is fully prepared to defend itself and has the right to respond to threats by Israel on the basis of domestic and international regulations. In case of an Israeli attack on Iranian oil facilities, the Islamic Republic will respond by targeting 3 main oil refineries of Israel, and in case of an Israeli attack on Iranian power plants, Israeli power plants will be destroyed. In case of an Israeli attack on Iranian nuclear facilities, in addition to a strong Iranian attack on Israeli nuclear facilities, Iran will revise its nuclear doctrine, and if any civilians are harmed and civilian areas are targeted by Israel, Iran's armed forces will provide a response at the same level.
Well, be sure to stay tuned as we keep a close eye on the unfolding events, bringing you in-depth analysis and the latest updates as they occur.
So now, let me move this off the screen. All right. So now, look, let's go to an article. This is an article that just came out on Tasnim News. And it says, the title of the article is Iran Ready for Retaliation Against Israel. Source. It says, Iran is ready to retaliate against Israeli aggression as announced earlier, an informed source told Tasnim. The source said Iran reserves the right to respond to any act of aggression. There is no doubt that Israel will receive the appropriate response to any move against Iran, the source said. Early Saturday morning, people reported hearing several explosions. Now, let me stop right there. If you remember, Mohammed Morandi, he said that if Iran was struck, that they would strike multiple times harder to establish deterrence. Well, it's time. It's almost time for that, right? Because what we're looking at is the outbreak of hostilities, real hostilities. Let's see in here. Excuse me. Mehdi says it said that they launched missiles over Syria and Iraq. IMHO. All right, military headquarters. Okay. Let's see. Hold on one second. I wish they wouldn't have the screen to jump so fast when you're trying to read it. Sometimes. Let's see. All right, Flying Crocodile. I got to go to it. Says Iranian state agency ISNA publishes footage of Iran's air defense repelling an attack over Tehran. That's what I was watching when I was telling you guys. It seemed like the air defense systems were knocking out everything. That's what it seemed like to me. I didn't see anything get through the air defense system, so I don't know. But it says, yup, they will respond, and it is driving the West nuts because they are forced to wait to drive up the psychological pressure on our leadership. You know, Mehdi, I don't think this will be long coming this time. I don't believe it's going to be long coming. I believe that with what has been said by officials, right? What is this up here? YouTube, I hope you're not ending my show. Hold on one second, everybody. Whoa. Oh, man. Thank you. The thing said ending my show. Anyway, but I think the pressure is on Iran because of what like Mohammed Morandi has stated on multiple occasions on multiple platforms recently, and what the Iranian leadership was saying. As a matter of fact, let me see if I can pull up what was said earlier. Where is it at? Give me 1 second. About one of the generals. Let's see if I can see if they moved. Let's see. 1 second. Where is it at? Because it was up here earlier. Hold on, everybody. Give me a second. I'm trying to bring you guys the right news. Let's see. Let me go to the next page. Let's see. I got it in my email, but I don't feel like searching for it really for that. Let's see. If I can't find, I might have to go to my email real quick to see if I can put it up. All right, let me go to my email real quick to see if I can pull it up real quick. Because they were talking real strong right before this took place. Hold on 1 second. It can't be too far in here. You guys, as a matter of fact, while I'm looking for it, let me put a clip up because I don't like that dead space or whatever. Let me just put a clip up for you guys to pay attention to. Let's see. Let me find a clip on this subject. How long is that? Here we are. We'll just put up these clips right here.
More than 400,000 children have been internally placed since September, according to the United Nations Children's Agency, UNICEF. Some 1.2 million children are being deprived of education. Their schools either being damaged or destroyed by Israeli bombing, while others are being used as temporary shelters. More than 100 children have been killed in the last month alone, 800 wounded, with the United Nations warning of a lost generation of children traumatized by Israel's war on Lebanon. Dr. Bahir Maktabi is among those offering mental health services for free, providing support to those fleeing from the south and southern Beirut. Many are suffering from panic attacks, anxiety, PTSD, and dealing with the loss of siblings and parents. She says that medicine and food is running low and the situation is worsening due to overcrowding in shelters.
Actually, now we're a little bit low on medications as well. So it's not only food, it's food and medication. And health and hygiene, because people are living in schools, so you have like 300, 400 people living in one area and they don't even have the ability to shower properly, to wash their clothes properly. And this is definitely affecting everybody's mental health as well, mental well-being as well. On top of the trauma that's happening because of all the bombarding and the lack of safety and security, being at the risk of losing.
I found it. I think this is it. This was published on the 22nd of October. Let's see if this is the one. Oh, here it is. It's the one. It's the one I told you I keep this stuff because people like, if you don't have the proof, you know what I mean? People can make up anything or say that you're lying or something. So I try to keep the proof so that when I'm talking to you all, sometimes I can just go get it and bring it up for you guys to show you the article. It's on Press TV. Let me pull it up real quick. You might not be able to see it. Okay. Let me pull it out just a little bit for you. See if you guys hold on one second. I got the scramble on. But anyway, it's that article. It's called "Any Action by Israel Against Iran Will Draw Much Bigger Response." DC commander. Listen to what he says. It says, Major General Mohammed Ali Jafari, speaking on the sidelines of a ceremony commemorating the martyrdom Iranian military advisor to Lebanon, Major General Abbas, he says, a senior commander of the Islamic Revolutionary Guards Corps, or the IRGC, has warned that if the Zionists undertake a significant action against Iran, they will surely face a response several times greater in intensity. And then he says Iran's response will depend on the intensity of the attack. So this is when I told you I felt that they were trying to weasel back, saying, well, you know what, we may let them strike and then we may knock everything, defend. They may do what they're doing right now, and then it may not be a response or a little token response. And then there was another article that is still in my email where they said that they will hit them harder regardless of what kind of action they take against. And I wish I could just pull that up, because I had it this morning and I didn't think I was doing a show today because I've been so busy. And let's see. Hold on, let's see. I think they took it down. They may have taken it down when this thing took place, as not to put more pressure to respond. Sometimes that happens, but I got it saved in my email. You believe that? So look, let's see. Let's go back in the chat real quick. Dang, this thing is jumping. Flying Crocodile says that Sputnik International Iranians have taken to social media to mock recent Israeli strikes, with many sharing videos that show locals climbing the rooftops for a better view of the situation. I told you from the videos that I saw while we were live on the air, it looked like the Iranian air defenses were taking out everything. I mean, they were hitting everything. So let's see. Mehdi says exactly. Fair points also. Let's see. And I'm sorry if I'm skipping over you guys, but this thing is jumping and I'm trying to get a few of you in. Betty also says the election is not that far away, Rashid. It would be an absolute nightmare if Iran, China, Russia all acted in coordination. Oh my God, man. Oh my God. What are you talking about? Because think about this. Say, for instance, if they did act, the Strait of Hormuz closed, gas overnight going to $300, $400 a barrel. You starting to pay something like $30 a gallon for gas. Food on the shelf, a box of cereal, Frosted Flakes. They still make Frosted Flakes. Frosted Flakes going from $5 or $6 a box to $15 a box. This would collapse the economy, and man, I'm telling you, all HE double hockey sticks will break loose. Alex says that looks like the insignia of Russia or Serbia. I love these clips. Good news. Mehdi says, wonder why I thought being scared during the Cold War of nukes was bad. I cannot imagine what those children were experiencing. I'm telling you, let's see. Excuse me. Flying Crocodile says they are the dumbest, most aggressive wankers in the world. God, in the world, attacking Iran's capital city of Tehran, Syria's capital city of Damascus, Lebanon's capital city of Beirut, Iraq, and Gaza on the same day. Absolutely, that's what they do. That is what they do. Listen, sometimes I have to stop because I don't think people really understand what is at play here. Not just because of Kazan. I don't think people understand the magnitude of what is taking place. We're watching an entire system, an entire world implode, die. What the science tells us, that two objects cannot occupy the same space at the same time. One must give way, right? Well, the rules-based international order is giving way to a fairer, more just world coming in. And they're fighting for their survival. And anybody that has been backed into a corner will do any and everything that they can for that last grasp of air. That's what is going on. America and the United Kingdom are tied to the hip. NATO, they drag them along because they need that. And Israel, They are all together fighting to try to maintain this unjust system just a wee bit longer so that the empire can live and breathe again. So when you look at what is going on, this is not a war on Lebanon or a war on Palestine or a war on Iraq or Syria or a war on Mali or a war on Peru or Bolivia or the United States just trying to make war on China. You have to understand the entirety of it. There is a world that is dying, a natural death. And there, you know how they say when a person is on their deathbed, they start pleading and rationalizing and trying to make deals with God to try to just get a little bit, a couple more days. And then when they realize that that's not happening, it goes into anger and feelings of betrayal, right? And then from that, a lot of fuss is kicked up until the moment arrives when they realize you got to pay the piper. And no amount of crying, fussing, pleading, deal making, or anything is going to stop the inevitable. This is what we're in the stage of the crying and the kicking. And they're trying to rationalize and try to cower people. That's what stage we're in the stage of the fall of the empire. Right? They're doing any and everything they can to try to cement the dollar. Because without that foundation, the entire system implodes. And without that unfair leverage, America, the UK, and the EU cannot dominate the sphere of politics globally or geopolitically or economically. And in their eyes, they're better than everybody else. The leaders, we are better than you, Russia. We are better than you, African nations. We are better than you, Georgians. We are better than you, Caspian nations. We are better than you, Latin Americans. We are better than you, Caribbean. We are better than you, Eurasians. We're better than you, Asians. We're better. We can't be on the same level. We have to have some type of advantage. And before we allow ourselves to be put on an even playing field, we'll take the world to war. Show me where I'm lying. Show me where I'm lying. Show me where I've embellished anything. Show me where I've made up anything. All one has to do is look at the policy. They are stoking war everywhere to try to leave, and this is their mind. If you don't believe me, look at their policy. They have a stated rule, a stated policy to not allow any nation or a combination of nations to rise to become America and the West competitors, near powers, or equals. That's their stated policy. If you think I'm lying, Google it. And that's why their policy of mad makes sense to them. If I can't rule, I'm killing everybody. Mutually assured destruction. I know they're going to kill us if we shoot these missiles off, but the hell, I don't want to leave the world in a position where it can repopulate and I'm not the dominant power. Why else would you have these people investing trillions of dollars in the nuclear stockpiles that can not only kill the world one time and 2 times over, but 30 times over? Have they ever thought about if you blow the world up, you don't have a place to live? Even if you survive the apocalypse, you can't go anywhere. Eventually, your food underground will run out. The water will stop. The filters that pump the oxygen in, they'll stop one day. Have they ever thought about that? And then they want to feed this crap to you that they're looking on other planets for life. If there's life on other planets, and there is, do you think those people want you on their planet? Do you think those beings would allow you on their planet to watch them or to come in contact with them when they see how you're dealing with each other? How greed dominates everything. How this unquenchable thirst for power dominates everything. Even to the point where you choose money and profit over the lives of people. These are not people that are worthy to govern. These are the people that the world should get rid of. Because that state of mind has permeated and then it has drifted across the whole globe and has seep down into the masses of the people, causing the people to become more materialistic. We take value off of the stuff that truly matters. I remember the days when you were proud when you had a woman that was very intelligent. Because a nation can rise no higher than this woman. And if she's cultured and refined, elegant and educated, that's a symbol of future generations, because she is the first teacher, the first nurturer, the first disciplinarian. But now when you look at the women, they have been so bogged down, and I'm not talking about all, but because they have been inundated with this foolishness. Every picture is of their backside. They put their glory in their backside and not in their heart or in their head. That is a sign of total degradation of morals and principles. You got these guys walking around the streets with their pants falling down, coming in the stores with their underwear showing. This is savagery. You know why? Because they defunded the educational system. And I continue to tell you that what lies at the heart of any prosperous or progressive society is enlightenment through education. Not any education, proper education. And when you remove the proper education and start dumbing them down so that you can get more money, so that you can hold on to power a little longer, you become a detriment to your very society and its survival. Because these people that you're dumbing down are your future leaders, generals, lawyers, doctors, scientists, engineers, architects, teachers. And each generation, they become dumber and dumber and more anti-truth, which means that you are destroying your society at the very foundation. And this is what we see in America. This is what we see in the UK. This is what we see in the Western world. All right? No morality, no ethics, no honor. There was a time when a person said something, you didn't have to sign a contract. If a person said it and shook your hand, that's what it was. Now you got to put cameras in the room, sign contracts, have audio so that people can say, hey, this did happen. This because nobody's a man or woman of their word anymore. A sign of collapse. We see that in every part of the world now. Wherever America and Great Britain has gone, we see the trails of destruction. That horse in the apocalypse, that all that followed it was death, destruction, and famine. What follows the president of America and Great Britain around the globe? Huh? Tell me. That's that horse. That's that horse in the apocalypse that we're talking about. American Great Britain or the UK or whatever they want to call it, I mean, it is what it is. I mean, there's so much going on. We'll continue to report on all of these things tomorrow and in the coming days. I want to thank each and every one of you for joining me and for having the patience to listen to me go into my spiel for a minute. I'm passionate about this, so sometimes I go into my spiel and do this little diatribe, but it's from my heart, from my soul, and from the Almighty God who had put it in me. And I'm just giving it out by his grace, by his mercy, and by his blessings. And hopefully all of you who listen will receive what he's trying to convey to you all. On that note, remember this. To do right by others, not because other people are watching, but because it's the right thing to do. And always remember that even when no one else is watching, God Almighty is ever watching. Know that I love each and every one of you who loves truth, but know that the love that I have for you will always pale in comparison to the love that the divine supreme being has to you. Until we next speak again, stay strong, stay true. But above all things, stay righteous. Hit that like button, subscribe, and share. Hey, mama, your baby boy loves you more than life. Deuces, everybody. I'm out of here. Peace.